Welcome back. Between the Lines 2026. We're back to live shows. We're on the air. Don't forget, next week, right, we're going to have the start of the AI series. And the actual ORNL director, Stephen will be here, Cypher will be here to open up the 5 to 6 week series. And I'm going to have to study up a little bit, but we're going to be ready to talk AI and its role in our world, our corporate world. We were going to run the series and the government closed, but now we're back and we got it ready to go. So please look forward to that next Thursday night. I'll be the first of several weeks of that, and I'm really looking forward to it. Today we got Rick Scarbrough, our homeboy from Clinton, right? He is the state representative the last year for District 33, which is the intact bounds of Anderson County. Nothing else besides Anderson County. And we just all think Rick's done a good job. He's been attentive. He's been receptive. People on both sides of the fence within the Republican Party are faction. And as we sit today here on January 8th, Rick can't pull petitions till Friday, but Rick has no opponent, nobody's announced, so we're hoping good things for him. But we're going to talk government tonight, not politics as much. We'll veer into it, that's what we do. But we'll get started. Rick, back us up. Tell us what's going on and where we're at. Everybody knows who you are. I don't think you have to spend much time on that.
Well, look, first of all, it's an honor to serve the District 33. I mean, you said I was a homeboy. It is home.
No question.
Been I'm a
chief of police for how many years?
16 years.
Chief of police in Clinton for 16 years.
We've been in Oak Ridge now for 5 years. Live here.
That's right. I knew you moved.
Anyway, this is home.
And you called me and said, "I'll meet you down there." I said, "Okay, I'll give you time. I think about you coming from Clinton."
Yeah. But, no, this is home, and again, it's an honor. It's an honor to serve as a police chief, for example. It was an honor to take care of my hometown.
Sure.
No different than as a state representative. Being able to take care of our community, the one I call home. That's what I wanted to do when I ran. And again, we had our first session, obviously last winter, last January. Learned a lot.
I bet you did.
Learned a lot. It goes very quickly. But
my friend Michelle Renaud went in last year. I know there was 3 or 4 new ones up there.
Yeah. We had a good
a lot leave.
Class.
I mean, they ran for Congress. I guess they can get back in now. I don't know what Jeremy and them are going to do, but you're right.
We had 7 freshmen that were on the Republican side, 7 freshmen, 2 on the Democrat side. 9
People are
total.
getting out, yeah.
And but it goes great. It's very quick. Goes by very quickly. And then, of course, this summer and this last fall, we've been in the district, taking care of our folks here, and that's busy. I mean, there's a lot of folks that need help and want help, and I'm glad they call me.
What are the biggest challenges right now for people in the district? And I know they get confused what the federal government can do and what the state government can do. They always call me.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll say, look, you got to go here, you got to go there. But from a state perspective, what are the major issues facing senior citizens, because I have a selfish interest in that, senior problems, and then education and everything. We're going to go over education, but sure. What are the main problems at constituent services, like they call you and they have a particular need?
Well, I mean, even back to the local level. I mean, I'll get phone calls from county commissioners needing assistance, trying to make contact with state agencies for a local need. It could be a TDOT issue. It could be TDEC. It's how do we get in touch with those folks? I just got off the phone earlier today. I'm trying to set up a meeting with Lieutenant Governor, and I'm going to set up a meeting with our local water authority, Anderson County Water Authority.
Okay.
Help them out. Trying to put them in touch with the right people. Again, we are your state representatives.
That's right.
So we want to make sure that we can make that contact between state agencies and the constituents.
Have you had a chance to meet with have you had any public meetings, or what do they call them? I mean, they always get on people for not having more of them, but town halls.
Town halls.
Things like that. Have you been out to meet with groups or talk to them? I know several smaller groups you have.
Well, anytime I get a chance to be I've been asked to speak at several different get-togethers and whatnot. It would be a fundraiser, or maybe it's a group. So we always try to make those. I always try to accept those invitations and do that. And then the biggest thing is just being available. Being open to meet and giving people access to you. My cell phone number, folks, 865-740-9766. It's on every piece of material I've got. Call me anytime.
Do you get a lot of calls on your cell phone?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. It's usually emails.
I think people appreciate still you giving that out.
Occasionally it's a call, but I want to make sure that they can reach out to me. And again, I'm your community representative, and that's what I want to do. But But again, we're blessed in Anderson County. There's 95 counties, and I promise you, we're one of the top counties in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah,
we are very blessed.
Let's go down the agenda. Let's go down issues that affect counties and whatever, and you can help me a little bit on that. This thing, my bracelet just bangs the whole recording. I have to be careful. Healthcare, big issue.
Right.
I mean, tell us what the state is doing to help people in this tragedy. I know the state came through with some funding for the food program during that time, made a little more money available so people could get some help when SNAP benefits were postponed and some other things. So I guess my question is, what health care issues are facing Tennessee, and what do we need to do?
Well, if you look at the overall budget in Tennessee, yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we deal with is healthcare, education, and then transportation.
Okay.
Those are our three big hitters, right?
Define transportation.
It could be highway paving projects.
Okay, well I got you.
Which are.
So I think of subways, buses, and planes. I understand what you're saying.
That's right. So, but but no, this is going to be highway, bridge work, whatever. That's every year we've got that.
And
big
you
number.
use state funding for that.
Yeah, now there could be federal money
passing through. Yeah,
we could be doing pass-through funds or
gasoline tax and stuff. Yeah.
But our biggest numbers are, and that after once you get through healthcare, our TennCare, education, and transportation, we have some that leaves some. I won't say discretionary, but it does leave you some opportunities for investment in projects. So, like for example. Every representative, we're going to be trying to get more funding from our governor this year and from legislature for our Oak Ridge corridor development. That's something we're always going to be trying to do.
He's played a good active role in that. I have to give the governor credit. He's been very active in the nuclear stuff.
Well, and I've told him personally. I said I appreciate your intentional effort because again. That is a great return on investment. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is an investment. People want to look at it as an expense, but we're going through a nuclear renaissance here in Oak Ridge again. And
earlier this week, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, there was a funding that two of the companies in Oak Ridge received $900 million in stuff to help them. I believe HALU and low and high risk marine. But those two companies have made an investment in Oak Ridge, and I was happy to see them get an award.
Mayor Gooch and I, we kind of poke fun at each other because he says I'm still in his line all the time when I say great things are happening in Anderson County and Oak Ridge every day.
He did say it first.
And but it does. We have it's becoming a redundant line, if you will. I mean, since last spring. We have had one great announcement after another, and the momentum is only continuing to build. So
I've been impressed with a lot of the companies. Some seem to be, no revenue yet. They're speculative, etc. But I was really impressed with the company that we went to that's moving into K25. Is it Radiant or something? I can't remember. They were impressive. John Luke and Raymond and Centrex obviously is an American company, and there's a lot going on. I think all of those companies are being active and want to play a role. So.
Well, it's
good for us.
Again, if from a legislative perspective and the governor's perspective, I think they can look at us as a sure thing. We're going to get work done here. And again, if you look at the relationship between ORNL and the University of Tennessee, and again, just our community as a whole, I've talked to several of those folks, and they want to relocate here. And we ask them, what was the big attractive draw for us? Of course, you've got DOE complexes. What they like, though, is the community itself. We're not afraid of nuclear. We've grown up with nuclear. We understand it as a community, and we welcome them to come here.
Well, and I think, let's go back to healthcare for a second. TennCare, it's kind of hard to understand. We rejected TennCare. We got TennCare. What exactly is Tennessee's role in healthcare that would be different than Maryland's or Virginia's or somebody else? Have we not opted out? We've opted out of Medicaid, so we created a TennCare program to supplement that or to take its place. Explain that to the citizens how that works.
Well, and again, as somewhat of a new representative, I don't have a complete understanding of how that's working. As I said before, I do know that is one of our number one, if not maybe even greater than education, our biggest expense here. Recently, I know the speaker was on a local television show interview just similar to this one, and they were talking to him, and he was talking pretty straightforward about how we ought to maybe look at health care in our communities today. He talked about insurance. Insurance has created a monopoly. He pointed out Blue Cross Blue Shield is somewhat of a monopoly, and we've got to bust up some of that and make it more competitive so people can afford more reasonable insurance
I think
rates.
that's true. I do. I agree with you on that. And I think, you look at United Healthcare, some of the big players, Blue Cross Blue Shield and others, there's a lot of, and I don't know. I mean, obviously they did not get a health care passed and moved to the federal side of it in last year or a few weeks ago. So now they're back at it this week. But people's subsidies, I mean, the subsidies and the other things they had before, they don't have anymore. So I think until the Congress deals with that, costs are going to be, for working class retired people all the way down to unemployed young, it's going to be tough.
Well, we've had some stories come out in the last couple of months. I've heard a couple of different examples about where one individual, he got quoted how much his out-of-pocket was going to be, and they found out he had insurance and his out-of-pocket was going to be even greater.
That's crazy.
That doesn't really make sense, does it?
No. Well, I work full-time, and I have good insurance at the energy company I work for. But I have Medicare, too. I pay into Medicare just to maintain the B and the A. I don't think they've ever paid a claim. Insurance claims everything. But I figure when insurance wouldn't get, Medicare would help with.
That's right.
Not much.
That's right. I think again, we have an aging community. The state of Tennessee, baby boomers make up obviously a large part of our population. We're going to have to wrap our arms around health care and how we're going to work with that. I know we're getting hospitals built all over the state of Tennessee. New hospitals are going up.
That's good because we've been closing them for a while.
That's important. I know that there's concerns about rural health care.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
And then I know we've got some local folks that provide some services to those rural areas. So, again, that's going to be something I think you're going to see.
And a lot of credit to Free Medical Clinic and other people like that are providing a lot of services to individuals.
Billy does a great job at Free Medical Clinic.
Yeah.
I know they got those mobile units that go out there and help folks.
So. In about 3 counties for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's Morgan and Anderson and Roane. I don't know beyond that if they've expanded, but they do a great job. And it's limited. They don't take people over 65 because they qualify. I believe I'm saying this right, Billy. Over 65, and I know they can't take certain people who have insurance and stuff, but it's interesting. They still serve. I can't remember. It was a lot of cases.
I think he explains it very well. They fill that gap.
Yeah, that's right.
They fill the gap of need.
That's right. And there's a lot of people making $12 an hour, $15 an hour working that have no insurance or in their 20s and 30s, and they're able to help those people, and they need it. And tragedy strikes everybody. It doesn't matter, and you need that gap. And thank God for Billy and all of those people. And Kate Hull does a great job. Billy does a great job. They got a lot of leadership down there, and a lot of retired doctors. A lot of retired folks volunteering time.
When they hosted the local RAM.
Yeah,
for the RAM clinic down there.
That's not the commercial on football where the guy. That's not Terry Crews. Okay, I'm making sure we got it right.
When they brought in that RAM group down at Bissell Park, the community, that was amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know how many they served that day. It was amazing, and of course, I think that's where Billy's roots are. He worked under that program at one time. So
I didn't understand. I knew he was from Roane County, and Morgan County. And went to Cofield. There's that little group. You got them all, Brad and Whaley and Billy and my wife and others. I got that Cofield. There's a different kind of crew there. They're different, but they do a great job, all of them. All right, tell me, just go back to staying with healthcare. Let's think about the budget overall to get all these in perspective. We had a surplus of money 3, 4, 5 years ago where we were able to do some things because the money was getting bigger. My understanding is that revenues are down since Labor Day. Is that true?
Well, our revenue is actually probably up 2 to 2.5%.
Okay.
However, that's not what we've been experiencing the last few years. We've had tremendous increases in revenue the last few years. But one thing we did do, again, our number one responsibility is to pass a balanced budget, right?
Sure.
And again, I think we do a great job in Tennessee. We like to say we're the most conservative state.
You got a big sign.
Yeah.
If you go down 40, you go to 40 Nashville.
That's right.
Cameron's got that big sign on billboard on the side.
That's
there.
right. We do a good job as far as our administrative and financial management. However,
yeah, you do.
One thing we didn't do is we didn't spend all the money last year. We have some recurring funds. We didn't spend all of that. So even if the revenues are coming in a little slow this year, we we didn't spend all of our money last year. We held some back.
Are the priorities that, or do you agree with the priorities of spending? And we'll move into education after we take a break here in a second. But, I mean, if you got $50 million extra dollars or $40 million or $100 million or $12 million, whatever the number is, and there's a lot of special projects that are going to request some of that money. And I know for a fact that the governor's going to push, we use a lot of that money to expand the voucher program and to expand school choice, if you want to use that word,
sure,
et cetera, et cetera. I don't find many people for that. I mean, you have to stay objective in this thing, but I just think that the conservatives think it's not managed well. The moderate to conservatives think we have to keep supporting public schools. I don't really count Democratic votes, but I mean, I'll go ahead and say they have the same shared opinion, so I don't poll them as much, but I mean, et cetera. So I'm finding more concerns about funding funding, voucher type private school things, with a concern that we don't know how many new people we're getting, because that wasn't required. We don't know a lot of things, although I think most people are okay with it for people that don't have enough money to do it. But I have friends that, I think the cap's 176 or 180, who together make their 140 to 150, and they have sent their kids to private schools for years. Obviously, the biggest factor, and Anderson will probably be St. Mary's, has a lot of success and a lot of people, but they just went in and applied, and now the government's paying what they were paying.
I think, we had 20,000 scholarships issued this year. The first 10,000 were, like you're talking about, capped at 176 income levels.
Right.
The other 10,000 were open, regardless, there was no cap on the other 10,000.
Explain that again, the first part.
The first 10,000 scholarships went to individuals had an income of 176,000 or less, household income.
Yeah.
So
that was 10,000.
That's the first 10,000.
And what's the next 10? You can make $1 million. It didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
That's crazy.
It didn't matter.
I got a problem with that.
No caps.
So who would do that? Why would? That's a tax rebate. That's what that is, right?
They had 40,000 applications were filed.
Yeah.
Out of 40,000 applications, 20,000 scholarships were issued. Only 178 went to Anderson County residents.
How many?
178.
That's right.
So.
Not many.
My thought process.
Not many
some of them very well may have went stayed here in Oak Ridge,
right,
at the Catholic Church. Others may have taken them
Catholic school. Okay.
Excuse me. But others may have actually took the funding and went to a private school in
Knoxville or somewhere, right?
Yeah, but only 178. That's not very many. I think, quite frankly, that's
a tribute to our public schools.
Exactly. Well, we got great public schools, but I think it also is reflective of what our community wants.
But I've talked to I had my man, the superintendent Parrott, on there about 3 or 4 months ago. I love that guy. He's good. He's straightforward. He don't care. He'll tell you what he thinks. And he went over the program and we went over the problems and we went over the good stuff. But he said he's lost a couple hundred people in the system. Okay, so there is some impact to the public schools, and I had a big problem with not holding them accountable. I mean, we eased public school restrictions, which a lot of PACs did not like. You were through that war, but a lot of we eased public school in exchange for voucher funding. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I put my kid through St. Mary's for 10 years. Cost me $8,000 a year, roughly, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't make more. Our family made less than $176, but we paid the bill because we wanted them to get that education. Right. That Christian education was important to us. Mm-hmm. But we didn't ask for help on that. I don't know.
Well, I think again, there's been some talk about expanding it this year.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll come to a vote or not. I know that.
So there is opposition to it too.
Well, I think I don't know if it's opposition. I know that the Lieutenant Governor has already spoke up and said that the budget situation may not allow it to expand.
That's correct. That's my thing. Good for Randy. Yep.
So, but again, there's desire for some of my colleagues to meet the demand that was there last year. That we had, again, if you had 40,000 apply, that means 20,000 were turned away. Right.
It'd be interesting to know of the 10,000 that were under the limit, how many were turned away there. Mm-hmm. My bet is not many. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I haven't studied it. I'm not paid to do that. It's not my job. But I think that we need to get the money to people legal citizens who want to try a different school, within their county or city or whatever, but they just don't have enough money.
Yeah.
I think that's a worthwhile program. But I think there'll be a battle this year. I think a lot of Republicans running for office are going to say, no. I mean, I know 10 or 12 that are running in that kind of environment. And it's funny, the three most conservative legislators in the state of Tennessee, we won't name them, but the three most conservative legislators in the state all were opposed to vouchers. And because they didn't like the structure of the program, which is interesting. And it's just interesting. Let's take a break. And then we'll come back and talk some more about Tennessee, the government, the budget, and what we're doing here.
America runs on power, and for nuclear power, we need enriched uranium, but almost all of it comes from overseas. In 2019, the Trump administration took action, working with Centrus to build the first new American-owned uranium enrichment plant in 70 years. And now, Centrus is ready to expand to meet our nuclear power and military needs, free from dependence on foreign suppliers. Centrus, American technology built by American workers.
This is Joe Heckman, President of Waste Management at Energy Solutions. Nuclear power is on the rise. Energy Solutions is part of this transition and part of the solution, delivering comprehensive services and assets that support the entire nuclear life cycle. Energy Solutions is protecting and preserving the environment for generations to come.
Vision, values, and commitments.
Extraordinary teams building inspiring projects.
We live for a challenge.
We do the right thing.
Exercise the highest level of integrity and ethics.
Create a positive legacy
Through purposeful
And sustainable projects.
we take care of each other.
Safety and well-being above all.
Treat each other with the utmost respect. We succeed together.
Embrace our differences.
Seek diverse views.
And listen to understand.
foster a deep sense of belonging.
We build trust. Develop lasting one-team relationships.
With our colleagues, customers, and partners.
Hold ourselves accountable.
To deliver excellence.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance technologies and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear, environmental, and clean energy fields.
Josh Anderson is a Republican who has fought for families across Anderson County throughout his adult life. Josh is a farmer, a husband, and a father. For 4 generations, his family has lived in Anderson County. A graduate of the University of Tennessee, Josh has served on the Anderson County Commission for 7 years and served as chairman for 3 years. Josh is a businessman who will put his experience to work for all of us. A supporter of term limits, Josh believes 2 terms as mayor is enough. Josh Anderson believes leadership starts with listening.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Welcome back. We're talking with State Representative Rick Scarbrough, who has been in the state legislature for a year. And unfortunately, and we joke with Chuck Fleischman about this a lot, but you got to run every 2 years.
That's right.
No 4-year terms. You get an odd year to do your work, and then you got to go into an even year campaigning again. So it is a constant battle. But that's the way it was intended by the Constitution. I like it. That way people can get checks and balances on everything. So we're back in the budget. We're talking about education. How much difference is in there in the legislature? Like when they passed the budget last year and they got all the education, it seemed like most of the disagreements in the legislature were focused on education.
Well, it should be more specific. I don't care contextually what are you asking me here exactly?
I'm asking you that when it comes down to a year-long situation,
right,
and you guys are battling, what are those issues that have the most contested competition in a supermajority, obviously? But I'm not sure I like that either, but with another story. I like being in the majority, but I don't know. So I'm asking you, what is, contentious may not be the word, what is the most disagreements? Where do we have the closest of any votes? And I'm working enough in the federal government, I know that the caucus can move things along without much contention, but I'm looking for.
I think.
Is this mailed, sealed, and delivered without any discussion?
Well, on the Freedom Scholarships, I think it was the closest vote we had all year.
Yeah.
I think it was 56, 58 votes for it. I think there was ballpark of 20 of us that voted against it.
Right.
And again, it's. For me personally, it was a district vote. I voted my district. My district wasn't fond
overwhelming against it, no question. It had very little impact on us. 172 or whatever that number was.
And there was some funding there to make up for the loss of students.
Yes, the bottom line. You know, they're trading. Yeah.
So I mean, they tried to meet the needs on that as well, and that's what pushed the cost up tremendously. Obviously, that was the closest thing I think we had all year long. Honestly.
Interesting in that vote. That was interesting. I'm trying to go back because, I'm involved in a lot of it and trying to think of what challenges. Let's kind of focus ahead. Based on everything that happened last year, what are our challenges this year? What do you really have to deal with this year in the session ahead?
I think the budget's going to be the biggest thing. I think it's going to be tighter than we're used to. I think, but at the same time, we're going to try to look for opportunities to invest in our communities.
That's where it should go.
Okay, and again, I think I want to go back to we talked about earlier about our area here in Anderson County, Oak Ridge, Rome County area. That Oak Ridge Development Corridor. Again, what a great return on investment it's going to be, right? So if
you put $50 million in last year, right?
Yeah, that's a good start. That's a good start.
You're going to have a hard time getting all. Well, you got to be able to prove what the return is. How much property taxes? How's that helping sales tax? I know that we're not really talking about politics today. No, politics are fine. It's not our total focus.
Well, personally, when I was running for office, I want to talk about safe communities, terrific schools, and high-paying jobs.
Right. Sure.
This corridor brings all that together.
I think so.
Okay, you're not going to have terrific, high-paying jobs unless you have a safe community and good education. It's not going to happen.
And leadership.
Those all three come together.
Well, let's talk about schools in Oak Ridge, okay? And that's basically who's impacted by that, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to have to make a decision. Do we build an elementary school here or there? What about Linden? Where do we go? So it creates the funding, but there has to be some leadership in the thing because, what's the preserve now? 1,500 families or something?
Thanks for me. I appreciate you bringing that up, too. Let's talk about leadership, for example.
Okay.
All these things came together when our local leaders finally started working together.
I agree with that.
Okay, all of our mayors, city mayors, county mayors, Rome County, Anderson County, City of Oak Ridge.
Well, Ray Cresswell does a good job. First class.
They all do a great job.
All three of them do.
But they've all come together to work together on this corridor project. And again, that synergy is what's helping make these things happen. There's no second guessing where local government is. So whenever the state of Tennessee,
I think that's true.
So when the state of Tennessee is trying to recruit these industries to come to our communities, they know where we are. From a community. So we take county commissioners, city councils. They're all in
one voice. That's true.
They're all in lockstep about what they want to do and how we want it. And again, there could be disagreements on other issues.
Yes.
But when it comes to development and bringing jobs to our Anderson County and Rome County, we're good. We're good.
I agree with that 100%. I think that, and the impact of that really. Knox County probably impacts as much. It impacts all three counties because the jobs have always been cut about a third to each one. I think Anderson had a few more, but Brown and Knoxville actually caught ahead one year. But they're all in that 35% range, 29-30% range, et cetera. And they're good paying jobs.
Oh, absolutely. And again, some people think some of those jobs are not good paying. We're talking about really well paid jobs right now.
70,000, 80,000 a pop on average. That's right. And they need some skills. It's a certain skill set, but the skill set can be specific crafts.
Well, that was a conversation.
Good for the unions.
You talked about getting out into the public and talking to people. That question came up in one forum I was in. What do we need to study? What do our young people need to study? What we studied 10 years ago may be out of date today.
Sure.
You talked about you got a show coming up with Dr. Streifer, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to talk about AI
and
support.
about Tarasi, a lot of people, yeah.
So I mean, I think that's the lead. You know, all things connected to that nuclear project is going to be opportunities for these folks to go to school. Yeah. They're going to be people, and you don't have to. And we're not just talking about 4-year degrees. We're talking about TCAP programs, learning a skill set. You know.
Yeah, like Rome State has some excellent programs over there in terms of nuclear engineering and 2-year programs, and they've been training people for jobs. That associate's degree over there, doing a great job over there, and. That's going to help. That's going to help because they're going to produce 8 the first year, then maybe they can get 15 or 20. Those numbers are relative, but I was really impressed when they came on back on.
President Whaley's doing a good job at Rome State.
Isn't he great?
He's doing a good job at Rome State, and again connecting Rome State with TCAT and all of our local leadership to where there's opportunities there. And again, there's great opportunity. Any young person right now can go over to Roane State at the Oak Ridge campus here, or obviously the Roane County's main campus, and there's a future for them. They can help them, you know.
Yeah, you can stay local.
And there's funding there.
And that's part of the goal of any community is try to keep some of your young people here.
And the thing about Roane State Community College and these associate degree opportunities or TCAT opportunities, it holds costs down. You know, they don't have to necessarily go into debt to get that degree.
That's right.
Or to
get
another
state-generated program under Bill Haslam that was excellent.
Yeah.
And I always said, obviously I have pretty positive impacts on all the governors, including Bredesen, and but I always say that Bill Haslam's the best governor we've ever had. I would buy that. I would stick with that. Just he was able to blend the conservatism that we were shifting to with functional, and you get people in there with functional business applications and ideas, and I just thought he did a great job.
Well, it was a time of transition too. He was
10 to 18.
He was following up Bredesen. Yeah. There's some challenging budget times there with under Governor Haslam, and then blended it right in and moved on into the Lee administration.
Yeah, and I think he does an excellent job, and we'll see. Now we have another race, right? We're going to have a new governor coming up. It's all good. Let's take another break, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
America runs on power, and for nuclear power, we need enriched uranium, but almost all of it comes from overseas. In 2019, the Trump administration took action, working with Centrus to build the first new American-owned uranium enrichment plant in 70 years. And now, Centrus is ready to expand to meet our nuclear power and military needs, free from dependence on foreign suppliers. Centrus, American technology built by American workers.
This is Joe Heckman, President of Waste Management at Energy Solutions. Nuclear power is on the rise. Energy Solutions is part of this transition and part of the solution, delivering comprehensive services and assets that support the entire nuclear life cycle. Energy Solutions is protecting and preserving the environment for generations to come.
Vision, values, and commitments.
Extraordinary teams building inspiring projects.
We live for a challenge.
We do the right thing.
Exercise the highest level of integrity and ethics.
Create a positive legacy.
Through purposeful
and sustainable projects.
We take care of each other.
Safety and well-being above all.
Treat each other with the utmost respect.
We succeed together.
Embrace our differences.
Seek diverse views.
And listen to understand.
Foster a deep sense of belonging.
We build trust. Develop lasting one-team relationships
with our colleagues, customers, and partners.
Hold ourselves accountable
to deliver excellence.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance technologies and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear, environmental, and clean energy fields.
Josh Anderson is a Republican who has fought for families across Anderson County throughout his adult life. Josh is a farmer, a husband, and a father. For 4 generations, his family has lived in Anderson County. A graduate of the University of Tennessee, Josh has served on the Anderson County Commission for 7 years and served as chairman for 3 years. Josh is a businessman who will put his experience to work for all of us. A supporter of term limits, Josh believes 2 terms as mayor is enough. Josh Anderson believes leadership starts with listening.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Welcome back. I'm Alan Beauchamp talking with Rick Scarbrough about the state government, local needs, and everything else. We've been talking about the energy thing. Let me ask you a question off the shop. Does the state of Tennessee have anything to do with NIL money?
No.
You don't have any regulation over it or anything?
Not right now.
It's all done by the universities.
Not right now.
I'll give you a disclaimer. His daughter is married to the head coach of Austin Peay football team.
That's right.
That's correct. Who is?
Jeff Ferris.
Jeff Ferris, yeah, Mr. Ferris' son over there, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, did a great job. I mean, the program's gotten better.
Oh yeah, he's done a super job.
But you would be more intimate with how NIL and everything
I think
works.
what NIL transfer portal, so it's going to be more at the federal level.
You're trying to look at it, yeah.
Yeah, I think so, because what you would get into if you did it at the state level is some states would do more than others, and from a competitive standpoint, you may do more. You may hurt them more better than you help them, right?
Well, you know what's interesting? Yeah, exactly. It's interesting because, and I know this won't play well, but it's kind of ended SEC dominance. I mean,
parity.
Parity. Well, it's more than parity. People that go to Ohio State and bigger schools in the Midwest have a much bigger outreach to alumni and people like that. And I don't know who went to. I know there's money. I don't know who went to Kentucky or who went to Auburn or who went here, but I know Mark Cuban went to Indiana. And I know certain other people. I mean, UT has they have decent numbers, but I mean, it's like Texas Tech. They got a billionaire donor down there, gave them $30 million or whatever. They just went out and bought up the defense. So the game's changing. It isn't more, hey, I want to be in a sunny climate and I want to play for Nick Saban or whatever. Now it's so many guys are making $100,000 or $200,000 a year. Obviously, some are making a lot more than that.
Sure.
A few stars, et cetera, et cetera. But the game's changed. It's a whole thing. But I didn't know about Tennessee and how that worked. And
I don't think you can put the toothpaste back in the tube, but I'd like to see them do something to where, from a transfer portal perspective,
it's wide open now.
And
the courts protect them because freedom of speech, freedom of everything, they're pretty much protected.
Well, they're professional athletes now.
That's right.
I mean, every time I think it was Coach Saban mentioned the other day, every time one of those young men transfers, it's 20% less opportunity, 20% less likely to graduate with a degree of any kind.
That's right.
And so when these young men are transferring 3-4 times, and you see it every day.
Yep.
Anyway.
You're right, and I think that is an issue. You're talking about that a little bit. I just think that the value of an education is diminished a little bit when you get $2 million a year playing football.
Yeah. Well,
and it shouldn't. And some families have that integrity that we're going to finish. But you can take the $2 million play and finish when you can.
Yeah.
But
we have others that are coming back in their late 20s.
I think I'd Pavy at Vanderbilt. He doesn't look like a pro quarterback to me, but he's made his money here, and he continues to get more. If I was somebody like that who had that Johnny Manziel kind of thing, was spectacular in college and may not be bigger as RG3, strong enough to survive physically in the pros, although Bobby's a pretty strong guy. But I mean, all that said, in the pros, everybody's 6'8" in the line. You have problems seeing, you know how it works. And the bottom line is the longer he can go, I will keep playing, no matter where I was.
That's why they filed the suit against NCAA, trying to get another year.
Yeah, because he picks up $2 or $3 million doing that. Yeah, and then because I look at these we watch Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, and everybody knows I'm a Notre Dame, but Riley Leonard, and he's making $900,000 a year drafting the 6th round, and he looked fabulous yesterday. 6'5", 2 for 3 touchdowns, first time he ever started, and then his coaches are looking at each other, and I mean, so you don't always know.
Now, Jeff recruited Riley to Duke.
Did he?
Jeff was there. Yeah, Jeff recruited him.
I didn't know that.
Sure did.
Good guy.
Oh, great kid. Great kid.
Yeah, and his parents are great, and he's a good kid. So you take Riley Leonard, and if he was a guy of that quality playing college ball, would be getting $4 or $5 million a year, right? So what happens is you move, you take that and you go to the pros, you make $1.5 million. So you got to be careful. You got to weigh your options, right? I mean,
that's exactly right.
And NIL's in basketball. Do they have in baseball?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's another thing.
Now the schools, in addition to NIL, the schools have to pay them. They have to pay them. The schools are paying them a fee. Like I think I heard recently that UT Knoxville they have to pay $20 million a year to all their athletes.
So they take their 100 or so and split it up. Do they have to do them all the same price?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they have to do that.
There's a minimum.
And there's who's getting. I don't know if it's called profit share or whatever, but it's something they've come up with. That NCAA come up with.
Who came up with?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Private sector.
So where now you have to pay.
Be law.
Now you have to pay. I think NIL was not a bad thing.
No.
But it was unregulated. You can't kick a program off without regulations, and so they jumped at the NIL thing, and Tennessee was one of them. There's many schools that took advantage of the opportunity to get involved and get their entrenched before the regulation took place. And now they're trying to. Now they can't catch. NCAA can't catch up because it's got out of control. Because like you said, the Texas Tech guy, he come out proudly. He said, "They got the #1 transfer portal in the country." Because he got some of that old money. He got the old money to play it, and the old money. He got the old money together and said, "We're going to pay these guys."
And that's the field. That's the game he inherited.
Oh yeah,
not much to do there, right? I mean,
these guys they know how to make money.
Huh. So one thing we know how to do in this country, but we've always been good at it. Any opinion on the Venezuela thing?
I think it's again, anytime you get a chance to replace a dictator with the opportunity for democracy, I think it's a win. I know some people. I think politics is politics, and we have some people on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, I just meant analytical. You're a former chief. You understand the game.
But let's face it, Venezuela is a dangerous place at a lot of different levels. But the fact that we were able to get a dictator.
And with our technology today, they know exactly what they're doing in Venezuela.
Oh my goodness.
They've got it all framed up in sites, and they know where they're running the drugs and getting things through. So he took care. Well, I don't know what the UN says or about, but all I know is he took bad people off the streets.
Well,
hypothetically.
Yes, and again, I think it does a great job of making sure people understand where we are at the United States today. That we're not going to put up with dictators
that impact our country.
That do impact our country. And Venezuela is not, obviously they're not isolated. They were impacting our country. And again, this was something that was coming. And I think, will we ever know everything about it? Probably not. But
be unusual.
But this past weekend, I was spending some time with a really good friend of mine who's active military today, and he was talking about the operation as a whole. He said very little risk to our military. Very little risk.
And Venezuela, if those don't know, is on the very northern tip of South America, so there's no airspace except straight off the ocean.
Yeah, and again, but he told me, he said there was very little risk, to the lives of our military. He said. The technology they use and the amount of effort to put together that kind of operation.
And they did it for a long time.
It's a shock and awe type thing.
My brother-in-law at the time went into Iraq in 91 and 92, and he said we would bury ourselves in the sand, 101st Airborne, and he said we would come up at night and it was just a shooting gallery because we had the equipment. They didn't have the equipment. And that's the thing with what you're talking about is that technology is a great advantage to the United States. But you can't just bully us. I'm with the president. You can't keep bullying us, sending ships in, conduit of all this stuff. You got to put an end to it.
Just take politics, set it aside. The results were a dictator was taken out.
That's right.
And, he's already been convicted. We already had trials. We brought him to the United States. And a dictator was removed. And again, the world's a better place for it, safer place for it.
It'll be interesting. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. What can you tell me about the state's involvement on the fight on fentanyl and drugs in general? I mean, you're in law enforcement. Would you say that state-funded programs like the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and other people, do you think we're doing a good job in the state of Tennessee fighting against illegal drugs?
There's a lot of continuity between local and state law enforcement.
Right.
There really is. One thing about Director Roush, one of the first things he did coming in was create a task force model to where they partner with local law enforcement, to where these local agencies could have an individual identified as task force members of the TBI, because people the TBI has an unlimited amount of resources. That's not true. No. Okay, so again, you create these task forces where, as a matter of fact, we train some of their task force members in forensics. At my full-time job.
Tell them what your full-time job is. You work for...
I'm the executive director of the Law Enforcement Innovation Center at University of Tennessee.
No NIL money in that?
No. No. And we're located here in Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
We're located at Oak Ridge, and but we do all things law enforcement training, not just around the state, but across the country.
Yeah.
And we
put that lifetime expertise to work.
We specialize in forensics and leadership and a lot of specialized training. But one thing we do work hand in hand with the TBI is we do the training for their investigators. We turn out crime scene investigators.
Is our technology better?
Oh my goodness, the technology, the TBI's technology is amazing. Again, they have continued to jump time and time again. And then, of course, Director Roush, he's a leader in the country, too.
15 years ago, when I was still involved in the courts and stuff, et cetera, 20 years ago, it just took too long to get, you were chief, you send off a sample to the TBI, and it took 6 months to get back to have a trial.
It is. It obviously depends on what you're sending off to get that information back.
Right.
But one thing that he's done is he's added crime labs.
Yeah.
So we have
it's better. That's my point. It's going much better.
The turnaround's better. They're restricting what you can run. I mean, don't send everything down there because it can be the smallest sample you're trying to test. It could be, but don't send a small amount down there to be run because you're just clogging up the system. There's some things that take a higher priority.
Sure, in any situation, that's why you have to. People understand that every crime has to be matched with resources and everything you do. You don't spend a preliminary hearing and 4 hours of your resources on disorderly conduct.
One of your more finite resources is your time.
That's right.
Is your time. And again, people think about the judicial system as being just open-ended and forever. It's not. I mean, judges only have so many court dates a year, trial dates a year, and so it's important that we do a really good job of getting that information going. We're blessed here in Anderson County. General Clark does a super job in the DA's office.
I've known Dave 30 years. Great job.
And we've got some great leaders in our local law enforcement groups too.
I think best way to put it for the public is you have to judge between what's a bad person and what's a threat and what's a misguided person who may be just a user and has other issues, stress or whatever. We just don't have enough collateral resources, nor can we afford them.
Oh, yeah.
In this dysfunctional society, we can't. One more break, and then we'll close with some interesting predictions.
America runs on power, and for nuclear power, we need enriched uranium, but almost all of it comes from overseas. In 2019, the Trump administration took action, working with Centrus to build the first new American-owned uranium enrichment plant in 70 years. And now, Centrus is ready to expand to meet our nuclear power and military needs, free from dependence on foreign suppliers. Centrus, American technology built by American workers.
This is Joe Heckman, President of Waste Management at Energy Solutions. Nuclear power is on the rise. Energy Solutions is part of this transition and part of the solution, delivering comprehensive services and assets that support the entire nuclear life cycle. Energy Solutions is protecting and preserving the environment for generations to come.
Vision, values, and commitments.
Extraordinary teams building inspiring projects.
We live for a challenge.
We do the right thing.
Exercise the highest level of integrity and ethics.
Create a positive legacy
through purposeful
and sustainable projects.
We take care of each other.
Safety and well-being above all.
Treat each other with the utmost respect.
We succeed together.
Embrace our differences.
Seek diverse views.
And listen to understand.
Foster a deep sense of belonging.
We build trust. Develop lasting one-team relationships
with our colleagues, customers, and partners.
Hold ourselves accountable
to deliver excellence.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance technologies and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear, environmental, and clean energy fields.
Josh Anderson is a Republican who has fought for families across Anderson County throughout his adult life. Josh is a farmer, a husband, and a father. For 4 generations, his family has lived in Anderson County. A graduate of the University of Tennessee, Josh has served on the Anderson County Commission for 7 years and served as chairman for 3 years. Josh is a businessman who will put his experience to work for all of us. A supporter of term limits, Josh believes 2 terms as mayor is enough. Josh Anderson believes leadership starts with listening.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Welcome back to Between the Lines. We've got about 8 or 9 minutes left, and we're going to talk a little bit about all kinds of predictions and different things, and I guess predictions is the right word, but we're going to do some things. Some of these things you may not want to answer. Just going on record. I mean, we can get around for the. Do you feel? What's your prediction for the long-term relationship of the city of Clinton, Oak Ridge, and everything together? Do you feel like the whole county's working to get better together now? Everybody now. I mean, not just the mayors, but I mean, do you feel like Clinton and Oak Ridge is merged? I mean, you're a good example. You live in one, you grew up in another one.
I thought, my personal experience the last couple of years, especially, when I was obviously trying to run for office, and then since I was elected, I think they got a lot of continuity right now. I will tell you, we have active mayors in every city. They're very busy. You pick one, they're very involved. I try to talk to them on a regular basis, checking in with them to see what they need. Kerry does a great job up in Rocky Top. Jason's out in Oliver Springs. Right. You got Mayor Burton, Mayor Gooch. I mean, they all do a really good job.
There's a lot of money out there to be had, and it makes sense to cooperate on that.
Well, one thing I learned years ago as a police chief, I've got friends in law enforcement, different places, but when the tide comes in, all ships rise. And what is good for any particular city we have in Anderson County is good for the county.
I think so.
And I learned that Blount County does a great job with that.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't fight, they don't dicker over, where plants are located or whatnot, because they all benefit from it.
Oh, and Blount and Sevier have always had good revenue.
Yeah. And I always thought that was a good place. And then now that's what we're seeing right now. I think we really are. They're all kind of coming together. And I think everybody will benefit. Everybody will truly benefit from it.
So the prediction there is good growth for all areas. What about Lake City? I mean, I look at Lake City, and this is me speaking. I always liked Lake City. I don't know why. I just had a thing for. I just think it's a unique kind of depressed kind of area, but people are unique there. They won the state championship in '59. They got a lot of pride in what they do. You know, Rex and I ran water up Val Mountain when we tried to build some things up. They got the people, I give Johnson credit and some other people, but they got the streets cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my Clinton people tell me they're dumping them in Clinton, but I'm not going to buy into that. Stay that way. But the bottom of homeless and other people, I think even Lake City's making an effort to clean up the area.
Well, and again, I think
there's some possibly good things going to happen.
What they do up there, and again, Kerry's doing a good job working really hard at trying to get and they're working together. I know they're being intentional in their efforts downtown, create more parking downtown, trying to create some retail growth down there for local business people. And again, I think as long as you keep moving forward, you know, it doesn't have to be a sprint. You know, just make progress.
That's right.
And let people see
old
it.
Dylan sign it. If you know, he was busy born, you know, it's not dying, and when he's not being born, is dying. And I agree with that. And I think Clinton's had some bumps this year. I mean, it's just me talking, and I'm involved a little bit, but I didn't understand the street construction.
Well, I talked.
It's not your point, but you own a business down there.
Yeah, that's what we talked. I did, but I talked to some engineers this weekend actually,
right.
And I think you're going to start seeing the results of the effort.
Good.
But what happened is you get in there and you got these plans you're going to try to put in. You know, you're going to expand sidewalks. You're going to do this, that, and the other. But then you get into the infrastructure. And you had a lot of old water lines, all old sewer lines.
A lot of drilling.
You don't want to put the asphalt down and then have to dig it back up again.
That's a good idea.
So, you know, it's one of those deals that's going to get worse before it gets better. And so they've got traffic engineers down there working. I don't think it's going to be long. You're going to start seeing asphalt go down now that they start to get those lines buried.
Right.
But there was never going to be a good time for that, really.
Oh, that's right. You're right. It's a no-win scenario. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So long term, maybe the prediction is that things will get better and it'll be more.
Oh, I think Clinton's getting ready. I think Clinton's ready to take off because, again, a lot of private money going in there trying to start new businesses, ready to start new businesses.
Let me tell you. I'm gonna play contrary on this one.
Yeah.
If they don't clean up South Clinton and they don't make investments, and they run around with, we don't have any debt. But I'm telling you, private or public, somebody's got to do something in South Clinton. We got a $50 million project that's the largest. I mean, it's 800,000 this year, 600. I don't remember what the number is, but they're coming in here, and my buddy, who is worth a lot of money, came in and he said, "That's a great place." I ate there and I walked there, but it's a dump on both sides.
It's on the park.
Yeah.
Oh, the park's good.
Yeah, but you got. And they say, well, nobody will invest in Kmart, and we can't get this, whatever that building was called over there. Buy the thing, restructure it, change the zoning laws. But we have a real opportunity for some major revenue coming into that city and the county right there, but nobody's attacking the problem.
Well, again, you go back to my days as police chief.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
The traffic counts are different.
Okay.
East and west, north and south. And so that's, I think, you have traffic count goes way down on 25W going through South Clinton. And then you got businesses out there that are actually built on top of the right of way. So it's going to take some innovative leadership to get that done.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And when somebody drops a $50 million project on you, and you're bringing all these people in, think of what you could do with all the people that come up and down the street that may want to stop somewhere else. It's just an idea.
Yeah, we get.
I don't know whose responsibility that is. I just think it's important.
Several years ago, they expanded that roadway to make it even wider. And when they did that, the businesses they're located in South Clinton along the Strip. They're actually in the right-of-way. Their parking lot. Their parking is.
I got it.
And then back behind them is the railroad on one side.
Yes.
I mean,
on the other side,
they're landlocked. But it's going to take, I think, a lot of continuity between the state of Tennessee and the city of Clinton.
Well, let me say this. I'm very involved in the political world, and I'm very involved in Nashville and Morrison and other areas. And I think you've become one of the most respected representatives. And you can see why. You know about what's going on in Clinton. You know what's going on in Lake City. And I think that's the kind of representation we need, whether it's you or anybody. We need that kind of representation. Oak Ridge seems to be steamrolling on its own. But you played a big role in the energy thing, too. You've been there. You've worked with it. Governor McNally, the same with Lieutenant Governor McNally. You know, even though you all live on the same street. But that street gets some good work.
Our Lieutenant Governor, I mean, we're really blessed to have him in Henderson County.
He's running again?
He's got his hands on the budget. He knows where the money's going. And
he's helped us a lot.
I count on him. I turn to him quite often on the budget issues with the budget question. So I'm
I really like Rand. Grew up down the street. I mean, he's a little bit older than me, but we grew up down the street from each other, and he's great. I think you're doing well. I really do. I think it's exciting. You're at that age, you're getting to spend time with your grandkids, and you're getting all kinds of things done. Your two daughters are wonderful, wonderful people.
We just stay busy. You said every 2 years you're running, every 2 years just to stay active.
You got it. Yeah, you're going to stay active. That's for sure. That's for sure. 15 seconds. What do you want to say?
All right, look, again, it's a pleasure and honor to serve our folks here in Anderson County, and I look forward to doing it again.
We're lucky to have you, and good luck this year in everything you do.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with AI. Here we go. The series starts.